All right, well, I've heard some things about today's Dordle. I'm not sure what I've heard, actually. Somebody said they don't want to talk about it. Somebody else said it wasn't too bad. And then Ranks said, don't worry, they're being ironic. It's completely normal. And then I had another comment about, shall we see a comeback of Dordle? So I feel like something is going on, but I don't know if it's super easy, super hard, an unusual word. I don't know what to expect here. So I'm gonna look at it because I'm curious. And maybe that was the whole point, is to say cryptic things to make me curious. Could be. Wouldn't surprise me. All right, so I'm gonna start with I'm gonna do it the train and cough start. Just the 2 words. I like the 2 word start on the Dordle because it gives you more opportunities for test words after that. Ooh, okay. Very good. Cough. Ooh, well. Cough wasn't good. All right, so I want to reuse the R and the A in new places probably. L, S, and E are good letters to do. We could do laser. The question is IR likely over here? That's the problem with that one is, you know, the whole point is to find the R here, but I mean, IR is possible. I feel like it's more likely to be, let's do layers. I feel like it's more likely to be third. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, that was good. So, it could be R-I-E. Actually, could be Erie, which would really be interesting. It's possible. And then over here, all we've got is the A and the E. I mean, so what's gonna come after the E? That's the question. That's the question, because it can't be ER, can't be ES, it could be ED, and I think Dordle does allow past tense verbs, so that's the most likely scenario. Otherwise, I mean, it could be EY maybe. Don't like that as well. So I'm thinking ED could be, what's it gonna be though? Faded is possible if we had two Ds. RID is possible over here too, so I kind of like doing the D. Here's the thing to think about on the right one. Okay, so what vowels have we not checked? Well, we've checked A, E, I, O, and U at this point, right? It could be a Y, but otherwise, let's assume the E is at the end. I mean, you're gonna have to have a vowel at the beginning here somewhere. So it's gonna have to be another I or another E. Ooh, actually, Kyrie is possible. That is a tricky word. Ooh. That's an interesting one though. I mean, I'm not guessing that right now, but that's certainly possible. Okay, so besides faded, because I don't want to guess a double D yet until we know there's a D, we could do faked. That's possible and checks the K for the right side. Baked is possible. Pod, mod, paved. Paved is pretty good too. But it doesn't really help us with the right one as far as, you know, Erie or Kyrie as possibilities. You know, one thing we could do is vampy, which checks for the V and the P and the M and also the Y. Checks for 4 letters. Because at this point, there's enough possibilities that we're not likely to guess the actual answer. Let's do vampy, I like that. Maybe I don't like that. Okay, well, I mean, it's looking more and more like it's gonna be Erie on the right and faded on the left, maybe? Or faked. Oh, it could be faxed as well. Or waxed. Faxed, waxed, faded, faked, baked. Jaded? Oop. That'd be a really tricky one. They all end in ED though, I think. So we definitely want to do the D. I feel like there's a few with F. Faded, faxed, faked. There's a few with W. Waxed, weighted, waked. Oh, there's the same ones with W and F. There's baked. There's jaded. Whoever said this one wasn't bad, either you had a really lucky starting word or you were just trying to make me more confused. Because this is a tricky one. I mean, it kind of depends on what you start with, right? Like if you start with whatever this is, if you happen to start with one of the letters, then you're gonna be doing much better. I think it's gotta be Erie on the other side, right? Yeah, I think it's gotta be Erie. I'm not gonna guess that yet though, because there's a chance that when we guess stuff on the left, it'll show me that I'm wrong on the right. And Erie isn't gonna help us with the one on the left, so. But the problem is we've got 3 guesses left. One of them needs to be Erie, the other one needs to be the answer here. So this guess has to give us the answer on the left. There's just too many possibilities still I feel like. The problem is, I mean, I can do something that uses a W and an F, right? But, you know, something like dwarf would use the D also. But if we find out there's a W, right? We don't know if it's weighted or waxed or waked. I think waked is a word. It might not be, but same thing. Let's say we get an F. Is it faxed? Is it faded? Is it faked? The W or the F by itself doesn't give us the answer. But like the K by itself doesn't give us the answer either, because it could be faked, it could be baked. And if we get like X, it could be waxed or faxed. Okay, here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking about FedEx, which is a crazy guess. But here's what it does for me. It lets me check the D in the middle specifically, because there's like weighted and faded as possibilities. So I could potentially either confirm or rule out that it's one of those two, right? Now, the main problem here is if we get the D as green and there's no F, we won't know if it's weighted or jaded. But otherwise, if we get the D and the F, we'll know it's faded. If the D is yellow, then we'll know it's not one of those, and we can just safely put the D at the end, basically. And then the X, if there's no X and we have the F and the D's at the end, then I think it's gotta be faked, because it can't be faded or faxed at that point. If the X, if there's an X, if it's yellow and the D is yellow, and there's no F, then I think it's gonna have to be waxed. Probably. And if we get the D and no X or F, then I think it'll be baked. So this almost gets me all the possibilities. I think. I'm sure there's probably a possibility I'm not thinking of. The main problem is it doesn't help with jaded versus weighted. But hopefully it's not one of those two. All right, I'm gonna go for it. Yes. Okay, so I think it has to be faded, right? What else could it be? Yeah, I think it has to be faded and Erie. Yes! Okay, woo! That was definitely a tricky one. I mean, Erie is always tough because of the triple E, but you know, it's funny because Erie's almost easy to guess sometimes because you rule out so many letters, it's like, well, I mean, what else could it be besides Erie, right? Like we don't have any letters left. But this one, there was so many possibilities. Oh man, all right, well let me know. I know I would have been in trouble if it was between jaded and weighted, it would have been a 50-50, but otherwise, what did FedEx not check, I guess, is the question. because baked was a possibility, but I think that was pretty much the only option if I didn't get the F, D, or X. Maybe, there's probably something else in there I'm missing, but... Wow. All right, interesting one for sure. So there you go, that was today's Dordle. I didn't know what to expect, but I was not disappointed. So let me know how this one went for you. You know, maybe you started with something that gave you the F. Anyways, pretty interesting. So let me know how you did with this Dordle today. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you again soon with some more puzzles. We'll pick a random available seat. Why? Who knows? That's just the kind of thing hypothetical passengers do. That's pretty good. Let's go with that. Wow! No way! Yeah, I mean, either apart or short could be right, or neither of them could be right. Who knows? I mean, 20 times 11 is 220. Then we would need to add 53. 40 plus 13 is 53. There we go. 11 times 20, 220.